Yesterday, my girlfriend and I went to go see Moana 2 in the movie theaters. And when we got back in the car, I had a very specific question to ask her. Do you think there was ever a time in your life where you didn't know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was? And she said, no, I think I've always known who he is. And I had the exact same answer. I've been watching Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in movies for almost 20 years at this point. Some people even longer than that. Whether it's The Game Plan or The Tooth Fairy or Race to Witch Mountain, there's almost always been some movie that I knew Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from. And then of course I got a little older and I was introduced to Doom and The Scorpion King. Don't watch those movies. So yeah, I don't think I can remember a time where I didn't know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was. Which feels kind of crazy. It's kind of like how I don't remember a time where I didn't know what Harry Potter was, or Star Wars was, or Indiana Jones was. But it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But what happens when you're a household name for over 20 years? You kind of start to get out of touch with reality. The Rock has made some insane statements over the past month, so I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk through some of these, and just kind of address how insanely out of touch this man has become. But first, what's up? My name is Connor McDowell, and I'm currently campaigning to be People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive for the year 2025. If you like this video, or you think I should be nominated, just click subscribe. One subscribe equals one vote for me to be on the cover of People Magazine with the word sexy across my big hairy chest. I'm so sorry, that's a crazy image, I apologize. You should also follow my letterbox for some super sexy movie reviews, and also follow my Twitter, because I'm still one of the only sane people left on that platform. I haven't made a Blue Sky account yet, but maybe soon. Now, because I've known who The Rock was since I was a child, it's no surprise to me that he is one of the most followed Instagram accounts ever. He currently has 395 million followers on Instagram. And according to this Wikipedia page, he is currently the 6th most followed person on Instagram, right underneath of Kylie Jenner, Selena Gomez, Messi, Ronaldo, and Instagram. I guess that's cool. Good for you, Instagram. You're the most popular celebrity. Now, of course, if you're one of the most influential people on Instagram, you're gonna get paid a lot of money to star in movies. But exactly how much money does Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson make? How much money could a studio reasonably pay an actor for a movie? Just one movie, not like a series of movies. And I guess the answer to that is about $50 million per movie right now, which is fucking insane. That is an insane amount of money. An amount of money that I'm never gonna see in my entire life. An amount of money that you're never gonna see in your entire life. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson got paid that for one fucking movie. Now, what movie might that have been? Apparently, Red One, which had a budget of $250 million, which means that 1/5 of the entire budget of this film went directly to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. I made a video about it last week. If you want to check it out, go ahead. But $50 million. I don't think I can stress how crazy it is that a fifth of a $250 million film went solely to one actor. That's insane. That's like clinically insane. But I think what actually makes the situation a little bit more crazy is that opening weekend for Red One only made $32 million, which means that opening weekend couldn't even cover the salary that they paid Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for this fucking movie. Like, are you kidding me? The domestic earnings currently sit at $54 million. So domestically, in the United States, the movie tickets that were bought to see this movie basically only paid for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's salary, which is crazy. And worldwide, it's made $119 million, which, if you can do math, you know for a fact is not $250 million. Do I ultimately care that a studio is losing millions of dollars making a slop film? Not really, considering the movie was also terrible. But I don't think that these numbers are going to affect Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at all. He's still going to get paid $50 million per movie, maybe a little less, maybe even a little bit more. Maybe his rate is going to increase to $60 million next year. It goes up by $10 million every single year. Now, why would a studio pay one actor a fifth of the entire budget of the film. And it's most likely because the studio thought that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's name power was just gonna sell tickets no matter what. I mean, they had a pretty stacked cast. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons looking like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It was a great cast. But a great cast cannot save a bad movie from being a bad movie that nobody wants to see. And to pay Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson $50 million to go on interview circuits and talk about how this movie is gonna be as great as Oppenheimer is insane. If you don't know what I'm talking about, very recently, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had an interview where he talked about how he saw Oppenheimer in the IMAX theater that Christopher Nolan screens all of his films in, sat in the seat that Christopher Nolan usually sits in, watched the movie, and his biggest takeaway was, we gotta film Red 1 in IMAX.
I had an opportunity to go watch Oppenheimer, and I watched it in the IMAX theater where Christopher Nolan watches and screens his movies, him and Emma, his wife, and I even asked, let me sit where Chris is sitting. So they said, Chris sits here to enjoy the movie. So I sat where Chris sat. I watched Oppenheimer, it was amazing. But I was thinking, holy shit, this thing, Red 1 on this screen, with this technology, it's gonna be game over.
Your biggest takeaway from watching the Best Picture winner of 2024 is, yeah, dude, my movie's gonna look sick in this theater. We have to film it for IMAX. It's a $250 million budget film. Of course it's going to be filmed for IMAX. Like, what? I don't think Oppenheimer swayed him in one direction or the other. He just wanted, like, a clip to go viral. But to tell a story about how you watched somebody else's art and said, this is going to make my art look so cool, kind of fucking weird, right? Just an insanely out-of-touch thing to do. This whole Red 1 Oppenheimer controversy reminds me of all of the times that The Rock would say that the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Now what you're gonna see here is why the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Things will never be the same because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
It's like, no, that's not gonna happen, dude. You're in one garbage movie that nobody is gonna see. And then when that movie flopped and James Gunn said, yeah, I don't want to use your Black Adam in my films, he got fucking mad at him. Like, the sense of entitlement that you don't get to make another $50 million by giving the blandest acting possible is kind of astounding. If I got paid $50 million for one movie and they said, yeah, we're never gonna use you again in a movie, I'd be like, okay, I got $50 million. Okay, sure, it wasn't $50 million for Black Adam. It was $22.5 million, but the sentiment still stays. I wouldn't have to pay a single bill for the rest of my life if somebody gave me $22.5 million right now. Can you imagine that? Never having to pay a single bill for the rest of your life because you were in one movie and it gave you $22.5 million. And then like 2 years later, you're in another movie and making $50 million. That's almost $100 million. What the fuck are we doing? Part of this $50 million, $22.5 million could have gone to the CGI artists that are working on the film day and night, just trying to make this product look passable. I'm sorry to say it, but you're not entitled to millions of dollars just because people know who you are. You're gonna get it no matter what, even if your movie flops spectacularly and you can't even make back the salary they paid you opening weekend. So again, it's just insanely out of touch. I don't know if you guys have seen recently, but set photos from Moana, the live action movie, have come out where Dwayne Johnson is playing Maui yet again for the third time, just this time with his own actual body. But while I was watching Moana 2, really not a great movie, by the way. Don't waste your money on going to see it. Just wait for it to like come on Disney Plus. You're gonna be severely disappointed by it. But while I was watching it, I couldn't stop thinking about how in 2026, when the live action Moana movie comes out, I'm gonna have to stare at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's pecs with the fucking animated tattoos moving all around his body, going from boob to boob down to his bush. Like, I don't want to see that. No matter what, I find it really hard to believe that they're gonna be able to accurately depict that on a real human being's body. But I mean, hey, hey, another $50 million to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I also personally don't understand how a movie that came out less than 10 years ago is already getting a live-action remake. Snow White came out in the fucking 30s and they're just getting around to that one now. Why wasn't Moana made into a Broadway musical first? Because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wouldn't have been able to play Maui, and that's his character. That's a joke. I'm not saying that that's true, but come on, think about it. Now, the real reason I wanted to make this video is because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just said something so unbelievably out of touch and idiotic that it made my brain explode. According to this Variety article from November 25th, which as of recording is 2 days ago, this says, Dwayne Johnson says, sing in the movie theater if you've gone to a musical and you're into it. Sing. You've paid your hard-earned money for a ticket. First of all, what the fuck does this guy know about hard-earned money? I've known his name forever, and he made $50 million from a bullshit Christmas movie that nobody cared about, where they probably almost definitely exploited the workers that worked on the film. For that guy to come around and say, yeah, you paid your hard-earned money to watch this movie, sing in the movie theater, I don't care. Of course this guy doesn't care. He's probably never been to a public movie theater since he was in college. Sure, yes, these people did pay their hard-earned money to watch this movie in the movie theaters, but so did I, and I paid to watch the movie and not the jerk-off sitting behind me that wants to sing Defying Gravity at the end of the movie. Dwayne Johnson is telling audiences to sing in the movie theater if they wish. The A-list actor and producer is reprising his voice role of the demigod Maui in Disney's animated musical sequel Moana 2 in theaters November 27th. Joke's on you, I saw it on the 26th. The blockbuster opening of Wicked sparked a debate on whether or not moviegoers should be able to sing out loud during a musical film. Some theaters outright asked its patrons to please refrain from singing during Wicked, for instance. I mean, yeah, how the fuck is this not an obvious thing? You're not supposed to go on your phone, you're not supposed to talk. Why the fuck would you be allowed to sing in the movie theater? I'm very lucky, and both my screenings of Moana 2 and Wicked, nobody was singing in. And thank God they didn't, because if they did, I would have stood in front of the screen and blown my brains out in front of everybody. So yet again, another outrageously out of touch take from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself. Now, singing in movie theaters might be a relatively new discussion, but it's been something that Broadway theaters have had to deal with for years at this point. I went to go see Aladdin on Broadway in like 2015, 2016, and I went with my high school, and god fucking damn it if a lot of the kids from my high school did not start singing the songs when they came on. I had to stare at them like they were crazy. What are you doing? We paid a lot of money to watch Adam Jacobs sing this song. You are not Aladdin, buddy. You are not the genie. You think you're James Monroe Englehart? Go up on the stage right now. And then a few years later in 2019, I went to go see Ain't Too Proud, and everybody in the audience was singing, which is a little bit different because one, it was a jukebox musical, and two, the cast was kind of encouraging it on stage. So in instances like that, I understand it. But I have been to so many Broadway shows over the years where people in the audience just think it's their right to sing. And to those people, I have to say, die in a hole, please. And I guess I have the same sentiment for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson because of this dumbass statement he made. So yes, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is unbelievably out of touch. Do I think that Red One failing at the box office is going to affect his career somehow? No, he's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I still know who he is, you still know who he is, and he still makes most movies a fuck ton of money. But I, for one, am so excited for the press tour for the live-action Moana movie, because whatever comes out of his mouth is gonna be fucking gold. Alright, well that's gonna be it for me today. If you like this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe if you think I should be nominated to be People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive for the year 2025. This week's Funny Boy of the Week is Ben for sending me this meme. If you want to be Funny Boy of the Week, all you gotta do is follow me on Instagram and DM me a meme or a TikTok or anything that I might think is funny. And if I do think it's funny, then you have a chance to be Funny Boy of the Week. You can follow my other social medias, including my Letterboxd and my Twitter, and if you want to become a bigger part of this community, you can join my Discord. The links for all of those are in the description down below. I'm Connor McDowell, and I'm gonna go find a way to try to steal Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's $50 million that he just made. That's a joke. If he gets robbed, I did not do it. I promise, I swear. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
India versus Pakistan.